So question 5 can be answered in the exact same way that question 3 can. And since I have presented 2 different ways to answer question 3, I thought maybe I would present another method that would also work. So the method that I'm using here would also work for question 3. Okay, so I'm going to start the same way as I did with question 3, that my margin of error when I'm doing a z interval is z alpha over 2 times s over square root of n. And again, when I don't know the true sigma, I only have the sample standard deviation s, this is only valid when n is large, and 81 is large enough. So we have our margin of error is a 4.204 equals z alpha over 2 times 23 over square root of 81. So to solve for z alpha over 2, I just divide both sides by 23 divided by square root of 81. So 4.204 divided by 23 over the square root of 81. And be very careful with parentheses when you do this. And if I do this correctly, I get a 1.645. Okay, so instead of using the z distribution like I did for question 3, what I can do is I can use the fact that this is multiple choice. So I have different confidence levels. Okay, so my choices were 80, 90, 95, and 98. Okay, and so what I'm going to do for each of these is I'm just going to find the z alpha over 2 and see which one matches with 1.645. So remember how we find the z alpha over 2 is we first find alpha. Alpha is how not confident we are. 80% is 0.2, 90% is 0.1, 95% is 0.05, and 98% is 0.02. Again, it's how not confident we are as a decimal. Okay, so we always need to know what alpha divided by 2 is. So for 80% it's 0.1, 90% it's 0.05, 95% is 0.025, and 98% it's 0.01. Okay, so to find my z alpha over 2, remember this is the inverse norm of 1 minus the subscript. So for the first one, it would be inverse norm of 1 minus 0.1. I get a 1.282. For the second one, I have an inverse norm of 1 minus 0.05 is a 1.645. For the third one, I have an inverse norm of 1 minus 0.025 is a 1.960. And the last one, I have inverse norm of 1 minus 0.01 is a 2.326. Okay, so again I use my inverse norm to find all of those. I have my z alpha over 2 that I'm looking for is a 1.645, which means the confidence level that I'm looking for is 90%. So 90% is my answer.